Hey there everyone, I'm Roshni, a second year MBBS student from IPGMER Kolkata, and I welcome you all to my channel. So if you are a partial dropper like I had been once, or maybe you are just a dropper who has the experience of giving NEET, then your preparation strategy, especially in the last 3 months, is slightly different. Why? Because you've already given NEET once, so you know which is your subject of strength and which is your subject of weakness. So focusing both on the subject of strength and your subject of weakness is very important. Now you will tell me that focusing on the subject of weakness is logical. But why focusing on the subject of strength? Well, the answer to this question I'll give you when I'll take up the subject individually. Correct? Now, before we delve into the preparation strategy of the individual subjects, I would request all my viewers to please subscribe to my channel because it really takes a lot of efforts to make the videos, especially in the time when my exams have just come. Let's start with biology. Biology was my weak subject. And in my first attempt, when I had got a score of around 470s, my score in biology was in the figure of 230s. So you can just think how poor I was in that subject. So मैंने starting से ही biology में attention दी थी. But if 3 months would be left, then in this scenario, what can we do? Listen. We just think that biology is a mugging up wala subject, बहुत रट्टाफिकेशन होती है. That is true, you have to learn the terms and there is no way out. But if you understand the subject, I'm genuinely telling you, if you understand the subject, it becomes way easier. So how to take up biology? First, you will watch any video lecture. You don't have to learn, don't have to mug up from there. Just understand the concepts, understand what the teacher is trying to explain you. Then come to NCERT, which we all know is the Bible of NEET, and then you will solve MCQs. Each step has its own motive. By the video lectures, I want you to just understand the concepts, to take up the mnemonics, to just see how the teacher is explaining. With NCERT Bible, I mean it is the Bible of NCERT, so there are 2 things associated with it. As we know that Bible does not want us to mug it up. Bible wants us to understand it. Hence, you have to understand NCERT. And Bible also tells us that you should read it every day. So, we should read NCERT every day. However good you are at biology, we know that it has the maximum weightage, right? So, read it every day. And then you solve MCQs. Now, don't think that ekdam अच्छे से preparation हो जाएगा, then I'll solve MCQs. No, MCQ solving is a part of the understanding process as well. So, this should be the approach of biology. First, understanding your concepts through video lectures, then learning the NCERT, and doing it repeatedly, and then finally solving the MCQs in the given time frame. Each word is very important. Okay, now let's take up physics. Physics was a moderate subject for me. I got around 100 in my first attempt, which is neither too low, and I got around 122 in my subsequent attempt, which was neither too high. So physics is always a moderate subject for me. But बहुत लोगों को I know physics is a problem, and that is because of the mentality that we have. हमें ऐसा लगता है that biology students है, that means they are poor at physics and maths, and that is why they have taken up biology. Not for all the cases, but for most of the cases. But अगर आप physics को समझने लगेंगे, if you start liking physics, it is really an easy and interesting subject and easy to score. Because NEET never gives very hard questions in physics and उसमें time investment भी बहुत कम लगता है. Okay, let me tell you what to do in physics. So you might have the previous year papers or the MTG books. So let's say you have an upcoming exam where जिसमें आपका vectors आ रहा है, kinetic motion part 1, part 2 and Newton's laws of motion आ रहा है. So what you will do is, first you will collect all the 10 years question from these topics, right? Then you are going to solve them in the given time frame. Let's say time set करो, उसमें solve करो. After the time is over, check your answers, analyze your mistakes. Suppose वो जो tension force वाला question होता है ना, there are many blocks which are joined by wire and then you have to calculate the tension force. Let's say आपसे वो question नहीं हो रहा है. What you will do, अपने module में जाओगे, अपने main book में जाओगे, whatever it is, MTG or coaching modules or DC Pandey, whatever it is. You will solve 10 to 15 similar kind of questions. Okay, आपसे tension force calculate नहीं हो रहा है, you will solve 10 questions from there. You will get variety. Now you will see आपसे easily वो 10-year paper हो जाएगा. Okay, so my point in telling you is that base your study on 10 years. See what pattern of questions you're not being able to do. Solve 10 to 15 similar kind of questions, but with variety, and that is given in the book. Now your physics will be done. Surely it will be done. एकदम टेंशन लेने का नहीं है. And most of the questions in NEET are directly formula based. So if you keep revising the formulas also, that will suffice. But doing this much for physics is very important. तो क्या करना है? Just take up the 10 years of the portions which you are covering, solve them in the given time frame, look which portions you are weak at, solve similar 10 to 15 questions from that particular topic, and then you're good to go in physics. And this way you can complete the entire physics. I talked about the 4 chapters, you can cover the entire physics in this way. Now let's talk about chemistry. So chemistry was my strong subject. I scored around 130-140 in my first attempt in chemistry. So chemistry basically has 3 parts, as we all know: physical, inorganic and organic. So physical chemistry is just like physics, where you have to understand and solve more and more numericals. The better you solve numericals, the better you are in that portion. And I feel inorganic chemistry is a bit like biology, where we think that it is purely on learning based thing, but it is actually understanding and then learning. And there was my fault, which I did not understand earlier. And organic is actually a mix. You have to understand as well, and they don't give you very hard questions from organic. So जैसे मैंने आपको बता दिया किस टाइप का सब्जेक्ट है, सो हैंडलिंग भी वैसे ही होगा. फिजिक्स जैसा सब्जेक्ट है अगर फिजिकल केमिस्ट्री, more and more numericals, the better you practice it, the better you are good to go there. Taking up inorganic chemistry, focusing on NCERT, but first understanding it, focusing on NCERT, memorizing it, and then solve MCQs. Done with chemistry. Now organic chemistry. For organic chemistry also I would suggest कि कुछ basic चीज़ें होती है that understanding is very important, like the mechanism of action. So वो understanding ज़रूरी है. So first I would suggest you that please do understand those concepts and then solve MCQs. Okay, this is how you will do the chemistry part. तो देखो, as I told you, my strength वाला subject was chemistry. So in my subsequent attempt, I took it very lightly कि ठीक है, chemistry तो हो ही जाएगा. First attempt में जब 130 plus आ गई है, second में तो अच्छा score आ ही जाएगा. But this was the mistake I did. I did not give that much attention as I gave to biology and physics for that matter. So my score went down from 130 plus to around 115 or 120 in chemistry. इसलिए मैं बोल रही हूँ that focusing on your subject of strength is very important. Weak वाले को तो उठाना ही है, strengthen को और strengthen करना है so that your score boosts up. So this is how we are going to tackle each of the 3 subjects for the last 3 months. And सबसे ज़्यादा important है finding out which is your subject of strength and which is your subject of weakness, and उसके according prepare करना है. Now at the end I would tell you that जो भी chapters आप prepare कर रहे हो, the best would be join a test series. So in the test series there will be a part of the syllabus, study that portion and give the exam, because ultimately आपको क्या करना है, you have to go and give the exam, right? So the better you start, the better you get acquainted with it, the better it is for you. Especially for the partial droppers, because आपने सब कुछ पढ़ा हुआ है एक बारी. You have to practice more. You have to understand where your flaw is and you have to correct that. क्योंकि अगर आप flaw नहीं correct करोगे, you will lie in that same situation. जो आपका score पहले आया था वही score आएगा, because आपको सब कुछ नहीं पढ़ना है. You have to just correct your flaws. I have told you repeated number of times. You have to fill in the gaps. You have to polish yourself. You have to brush yourself. Okay? So yeah, this was all about how we can take up the 3 subjects individually if you are a partial dropper, and I am sure if you follow this, definitely success will be yours. And before we end the video, please do like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.